Hello guys, welcome back to Multimagic channel. In previous video we have discussed about asset customization module. In this video we are going to discuss about another module, that is preview management module. So basically we are following sprint mechanism, right? So in sprint 1 this team is going to work on the basic UI layout and the basic customization. Okay, so basically they are going to build a similar UI like this, which has two tabs, that is Android and iOS, which is aligned vertically, and the content inside that is Android and iOS, is also aligned vertically. Okay, so that is what they are going to work on this sprint one. To do this, we also made a small building block or proof of concept, so that they can use it and they can start building this layout even better and very fast. Okay, so now let us go and look at that building block. Okay, so yeah, this is the building block of preview management module. So yep, as I told that we have two tabs, that is Android and iOS. Here if we select on Android, we will be able to see the devices of Android, and if we click on this iOS, we'll be able to see the devices of iOS. Okay, and this section is the PM preview section. Okay, basically let me not introduce the file names or context names here. To keep it very simple, this is a preview section. Okay, so if I select any device in Android, that is, let me click on this Pixel 5, this Pixel 5 will be displayed here. Okay, in the same way, if I click any device on iOS, it will be displayed here. It will be rendered here. Okay, so now this whole layout has this whole layout has nothing. It has only a single drop down, and this has no functionality, and everything is static here. Okay, also we have a simple functionality, that is light mode and dark mode. So if I click on this light mode, so each and every component which you are seeing, which you are able to see, it will respond based on the mode which we selected. Okay, if we click on this dark mode, it will respond based on the UI will respond based on the mode which is selected. Okay, now let us go and see the preview system architecture diagram of the preview management module. Okay, let us see the overall system diagram of preview management module. So for this preview management module, this is the main entry of the this module. Okay, so for this module we are passing three props, that is package type, role, and is authenticated flag. So the package type is nothing but which type of package user has chosen, either it is premium or basic. Okay, and what is the role of that user, whether the user is just a user or he is an admin. Okay, is authenticated is nothing but it's just a boolean. Boolean means you'll get only one value, that is true or false. Okay, so coming to this preview management module, this has two controllers, two components basically. One is PM display controller and one is PM preview. So to summarize these two components, PM display controller is basically responsible for handling the user interactions. PM preview is responsible for to display the user interactions in live. Means if you are familiar with real-time data, suppose if you have seen some databases, data will be updating in live. Suppose if you take an example of cricket scores, people will be playing there, and the scores will be updating live on the TV or television or some OTT platform. In such a way, whatever the user interacts inside the display controller, that will be displayed as live in PM preview. Okay, so coming to this central hub, so this is the main heart of this whole preview management module. Okay, so preview display controller, PM display controller. PM display controller means preview management display controller. Okay, this uses a hook basically. This uses a hook to communicate with state management. Okay, so before explaining about this use PMM state hook and why we are using and all, let me explain you briefly what is state management. State management is nothing but it's a centralized store where you can store the data, fetch the data, and where you can update the data and all. You can do all those kind of operations. Basically, it is a centralized store. Okay, coming back to here. Using this hook, what this PM display controller does is, it will use this hook to communicate with state management. Okay, you'll be able to understand how and why. Okay, so let us jump into the second block. In second block, we have this use effect hook. So use effect is a hook which will be called automatically when a component renders. Okay, so inside this, if you study this, it fetches allowed features and controls when role, package and is authenticated flag changes. Okay, so and the second step is it uses get allowed PM features to get the features. Okay, so basically this is the function which is responsible to get the list of features. Okay, the implementation of this function, let us not worry about this implementation of this function right now, but what this display controller does is, this will get the list of features and it will update the features in the state management. See here, it will update these features in the state management. Okay, till now you understood that this function is responsible to get the features, and this display controller will update the features in the state management. Okay, now let us understand where is this get allowed PM features getting the features from. Okay, for that we need to go to this handler. So basically this handler is responsible to get the features and send them to display controller. Where is this feature handler getting the features from? So yes, we have a configuration file here, that is PM feature config, which is a JSON data. Basically this JSON data, the format of this JSON data will be like this. Let us take an example of, I'll take a small example. Let us assume that we have a feature 1. Okay, so this feature 1 is applicable only for if the package time is premium, if the package type is premium and user is admin. Okay, so if feature 2 is available only if the package type is premium and user is just a user. So this type of data will be inside this feature config. So who is sending this package type and user role? So in display controller itself, while calling this function, we are sending the props, that is the package and the role. So based on these, this feature handler fetches the features from this feature config by passing through the configuration file. So now let us go a bit more deep inside this and study what is there inside that. Okay, basically it iterates over each feature and it checks each and every feature in the PM feature config, use role and package type to check permission. If the feature is accessible, then it will add to the result list. Okay, so finally we'll get a list of features and that will be sent to display controller. Okay, now we got the features, and what next? We have to fetch those features which are updated in the state management and we'll pass them to PM feature controller. Okay, before diving deep into this PM feature controller, let us understand what is this PM feature controller briefly. So PM feature controller is responsible to render the features. That's all. So now let us go to this component. So as you know, I mean, it makes sense that, right? So we are passing the feature array as props here to this PM feature controller. Okay. So here you are using useState hook and you are using handle change just to update the selected tab and all. The purpose is already written here. So coming to this render feature, I mean, I'm going to specifically focus on the logic whatever which is very important. Okay. So this render feature is responsible to actually render the feature whatever we are getting in this list. Okay. So let us assume that we got Android and iOS. In the demo I have been showing that we have two tabs, that is Android and iOS, right? So in this features list, we already know that we are going to get that these two features are in this list. Okay. Now in this render feature, we'll implement the logic in such a way that if the feature name is Android, okay, then you need to render this A devices, that is Android devices. If the feature name is iOS, then you need to render this I devices. Okay. So now to make it even more clear, let us go inside the previous demo and let us see again. So if the feature is Android, we need to render these devices. These are A devices. If the feature is iOS, then we need to render these I devices. Okay. So yep, we rendered the features. Now what? So while we are clicking on these features, the value is being updated. The value is being rendered, right? So what is happening behind the scenes? So I already told that state management acts as a central store for the whole application, right? So through this central store, each and every component can access the data whatever there in the store, and it can update the data whatever there in the store. Okay. So coming back to here, the features whatever we have rendered, we have a list, right? We have the list of devices of Android, we have the list of iOS devices, right? If we click on any device, it will dispatch an action basically. So if you click on any iOS device, it will dispatch an action that is set selected PM iOS device. If you click on any Android device, then it will dispatch an action set selected PM Android device. Okay. So using these actions, what this reducer does is it will update the value which is it will update the value corresponding to that state. Okay. And after that, this global context will be updated automatically, and using this PMM hook, inside this preview module, using this PMM state hook inside this preview module, it is showing the selected device, the device which is selected. That is why you are able to see the device which is selected in the preview section. To understand this a bit more clearly, I'll take a simple feature and I'll tell you what is happening behind the scenes. Okay. Let us take A devices as example, and inside A devices we have a list of devices, that is let me show you again. We have Pixel 5, Samsung Galaxy and OnePlus 9, right? So those are these A devices. So if you click any one of the list, it dispatches an action basically to reducer. Inside the reducer, okay, we got this action. Now what? It will check. Now the action type what we got is set selected PM Android device. So it will update this value state.selected device. Okay. After that, PM global context. Basically this gets updated. So once this gets updated, using this use PMM state hook, inside the preview component, we can access this selected device. We can access this selected device using the hook, that is PMM state. Okay, so we got the selected device, right? So we got the selected device. It means we got the device with which user interacted. Okay, so if you click on Pixel 5, here the selected device is Pixel 5. If you click on Samsung Galaxy S21, here the selected Galaxy is here the selected device is Samsung Galaxy S21. So that is how, if any user clicked on any A devices, that is how it is being displayed in the preview component. The same thing goes for I devices. So if user clicked on any device which is on the list, the action is dispatched to PM reducer, and inside the PM reducer, with respect to the action, it will update the device which is selected, and the PM global context is also updated. And inside the PM preview component, we'll use this use PMM state hook, and through that we'll use this selected device variable, and we'll print out the selected device. Okay, so this is the whole overall system diagram of preview management module. So far we have discussed what this team is going to do in sprint 1 and the overall system diagram. Okay. Yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you so much.